I love when it's a movie and then the mom is played by the same character, but her hair is different.
Yes.
That makes me so happy, and I don't know why.
Welcome to Make This Movie, a live brainstorming session where we will dream up a completely new movie on the fly. I'm your host, Allison Raskin.
And I'm your host, Gabby Dunn.
And thank you for joining us today, because today is a very special episode of Make This Movie.
Yeah, normally we start with a genre, but we've decided to take an alternate route. We're making literally any movie that stars Zendaya. I love Zendaya. I'm excited for her move to the big screen and like her own projects.
Well, she was in The Biggest Showman.
The Greatest Showman. He wasn't The Greatest Showman. He was 7 feet tall and he weighed 1,000 pounds. He was The Biggest Showman. And now let's introduce our amazing guests. Today we have Jourdain Searles, writer, film critic, podcaster, and comedian. Jourdain has written for the New York Times, Vogue, and GQ. She is also the co-host of Bad Romance podcast. Welcome, Jourdain.
Thanks for having me.
We're also joined by the incredible Asha Michelle Wilson. She's a television writer, producer, actor, with credits including American Horror Story, Feud, Betty and Joan, as well as Scream Queens, and she's currently developing a comedy with FX. Thank you so much for joining us.
I am so excited. Thank you for having me.
We are making a movie today for the icon, the legend, Zendaya. So why do we love her?
I feel like she's always like speaking up for what she wants. She's not afraid to go after it. She's not afraid to take risks. She's young. She's like 23, I think.
Everything she does is a moment.
Everything. Like, there was one time when she was at an award, I can't remember what, if it was like the Met Gala or something, but she was wearing like this long pink dress and Tom Holland was like carrying the train. He just like followed her around and I was just like, this is the power that I want.
There are going to be a couple parameters. One of them is going to be a requirement that the movie involves a musical number, and Zendaya has to play more than one character in the movie.
I would like to see her in some kind of like sci-fi comedy. I think would be fun.
My pitch was like stoner comedy, but like sci-fi comedy seems like...
Sci-fi stoner comedy though. Sci-fi stoner comedy.
Yeah.
I'm in on. What if the sci-fi element is time travel? I'm just making this Doctor Who. I'm sorry. I almost want to see Zendaya go back in time and meet her ancestor who looks just like her.
That's what I was gonna pitch up top, because there's 2 ways to do double character. Sci-fi, and then the second way to do double character is if you play your own mom, which I love. I love when it's a movie and then the mom is played by the same character, but her hair is different.
What if her mom's in like a punk band?
Ooh, yes, yes.
She's getting to know her mom and her mom's in a punk band and also shoulder pads.
What if her mom is like very miserable in her life and Zendaya thinks that the reason that her mom is very miserable in her life is that she quit her punk band?
Yeah. And I wonder if Zendaya's doesn't like her father, like thinks that, like goes back in time and like actually learns that the dad didn't suck.
Oh. Or like that the mom quit because she was afraid. In Zendaya's present day, there should be something that she's almost too afraid to do.
What if like she's afraid to run her own bakery, and so she's working at this bakery and the person who owns it is like, okay, I want to retire, I want to give the bakery to you.
She is then given the opportunity to go back in time. How do we get that opportunity?
Ivy comes to the bakery late at night for some reason, she left something, whatever, and shows up, goes to the back room, and her boss is like doing something weird with time travel.
Like the oven that they cook in. The time.
Yes.
So Ivy is our main Zendaya. What's her mom's name?
It could be like, you know, back then her name, she went by Charlie and then she got older and she's like Charlene.
The mom is played by...
Gotta be like Tracy Ellis Ross or something.
Yeah,
Tracy Ellis Ross, yeah, that's perfect. Who is playing her dad?
Young dad is someone like Sam Claflin.
Okay,
Ooh.
I like that. Older version of dad, it's like, not Colin Firth, but like Colin Firth.
Jude Law.
Yes.
Jude Law, yes.
Correct.
And who plays the boss?
I am like low-key obsessed with Demi Moore, so I'm gonna say Demi Moore.
Okay, so she's back in time. So then she's got to become, say that she's like a distant cousin from where?
Albania. Nobody would check that. Is there a Back to the Future type thing where like her dad starts to fall in love with her?
No.
Come on.
So honestly, I feel like we have our beginning, we have our end. What ultimately drives her where she can then go back to the present?
The mom is gonna not do this big show because she's pregnant.
Because she's pregnant.
She convinces her to do the show. She does the show. She gets signed to this big record deal.
And then the dad proposes.
Yeah.
What are we calling this movie?
Hot Oven Time Machine.
So we have the 80s to play with. Is there a fun 80s song? Oh, Time After Time. Time After Time.
Time After Time. Cyndi Lauper.
Okay, I think we might be ready to summarize this movie.
Okay.
I think so.
For present-day New Yorker, Ivy leads an ordinary life. She has a day job at a bakery, and in her off time, she's getting baked. She leans on Mary Jane because at home, tension awaits. If living with one's mother wasn't hard enough, Ivy's mom has lost dreams of becoming a rock star, which have left her embittered. But when Ivy discovers a time machine within the industrial oven at her place of work, she sees an opportunity to rewrite her mother's past.
You know, maybe I should take advantage of the fact that there's this time machine in my bakery.
But she'll have to take on a new identity.
Oh, I'm your long-lost cousin from Albania.
We're going back to the 80s, folks, so strap in. It's a stoner comedy. It's a love story. It's a time travel film. It's Time After Time, starring Zendaya.
Thank you guys so much for going on that journey with us.
I think we made a hit.
Okay, well, before we sign off, Jourdain, can you tell us where to find you?
You can find me at JOURDAYEN on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm on Letterboxd at Riot Glasses.
I am only on Instagram at Asha Michelle Wilson. You can also Google my name to see the other podcasts that I've done. And that's me.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. This was such a fun episode. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you know when our next one comes out. Also, in the comments, please let us know what Zendaya movie you would make with those parameters. Thank you guys so much. And this was Make
That movie.
Movie.